Good morning, good morning, good morning. I am so excited to have you here today. As every Monday morning, I'm excited to have you. I'm Shelley Butler.
I'm Yves Doucet.
And this is Mindset Monday. Call it Mindset Monday because we are in the mode to work on everything upstairs. Everything that we think about, right? All the brain power. In actuality, though, a lot of it comes from our gut health.
It does, yeah, absolutely. Like a lot of stuff. Well, like we don't know this, but like most of the, like the dopamine is actually created in your gut. Like dopamine is like one of the hormones is responsible for happiness and blissfulness, and that's created in your gut. So like when they say you are what you eat, well, actually it's true. Whenever like you drink, whatever, like you're drinking water, that turns into something in your body. Yeah. And when you're eating something, that turns into something, and it produces all sorts of things in your gut. And yeah, if you eat really well, like food that is alive, and like that, yeah. You'll have more energy, you'll have more happiness, because your body's happy.
Absolutely, absolutely. We have to feed ourselves in such a way that we can show up and shine.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, leaders out there, and I believe that every one of you is a leader. So I'm talking to every one of you. I think we all have to take some self-control and make sure that we are empowering our gut as much as we are empowering our brains. So we couldn't call it gut set Monday because that just didn't sound great. But to be a great leader, I think that you have to get control of your health.
Yeah. So I'm not a big fan of the word control, because I think it's more of a mindset.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and you've had experience with this, Shelley, like trying to lose weight or trying to change, trying to change a behavior. Like eating is a behavior, right? Yeah. Eating is a behavior. Everything we do is a behavior. And that behavior starts with, what we've done as management, as leaders, as entrepreneurs, as bosses, as parents, as individuals, is we've tried to change the behaviors of people by shaming, by dictating, by telling. And this is it's not the wrong way. It served us really well as human, like we've evolved and we've done a great number of things in humanity, right? A great number of bad things, but a great number of great things too, right? Yeah. But it served us. But where we are today is the realization that we're focusing on the behavior while we should be focusing on the mindset. Yeah. Shifting your mind. And we've done this, like we've experienced this personally, you and I, that as soon as you change your mind, your behavior that you want to change, be it like the addiction that you have and whatever, shoes or like drinking or too much KFC, like it goes away. Yeah. And it goes away because you shifted your mind. Okay.
Yeah. And a lot of people ask me, Shelley, how did you lose the weight? And I said, I changed my mind.
Change your mind. Yeah. It's like, as soon as you change your mind, the behavior goes away, because all these escapes that we have, right, as a behavior, all these escapes that we have has to do with something that we're looking for inside of us. We're trying to escape something that's inside of us, and we're looking for something outside, which is the behavior, right? And that will never serve us. So we continue to dig deep into the behavior instead of just saying, okay, what is behind that behavior? What's behind that emotion? What's behind that reaction that we have? And this is what we're talking about here. This is a new way of leading, not only in your personal life, but the new way of leading other people. And like today, we're going to talk about dictatorship versus leadership, right? Yeah. And I'm always like reminded of this, something like this from, it was good. John Adams, is it Adams? John Adams, one of the founders of the US. Is it John Adams? Yep. Yeah. He said something, good leaders know thyself, right? So the principle that we're going after here, and I'm in the practice of this, is whenever you're having a reaction to something, the practice is to know yourself. So why are you having a reaction to whatever it is? It doesn't matter what you're reacting to, right? Like if you're always seeing the same thing in other people, like imagine you're like you bought a new car, right? And it's this beautiful, I don't know, like a beautiful Porsche, blue Porsche. All you're going to see is this beautiful blue, like you're going to see Porsches everywhere. Oh, hello. Okay, so I'm talking about myself. We lost Shelley. So I'm sure she's gonna come back. She didn't like my conversation, I guess. So thank God for technology. We'll just take a tea break here as we wait for Shelley to come back on. And yeah. Anyway, we're talking about a Porsche. and you just have to appreciate technology for what it is, and it's not perfect, just like we're not perfect, and it fails, and just laugh at it. And like we're having some technical difficulties right now, and it's okay. It's just part of life, right? And we have to go with it. Just be be here and continue on the message that we're trying to and this is probably one of the best examples. Like if you don't get one of these days in your life that things don't go as you planned, yeah, because we can't control everything in life. We try to, but we can. And so this is so important as a way of being, just to like accept life, and then like know yourself enough that you're gonna pull through it. You're gonna pull through this, right? And again, it's the same thing that we're talking about, like leader of your own life, and being okay with the fact that you don't have control of everything. You don't have control of what life is going to serve you. Like I have no control whether or not like something like this happened or not. Like there's powers beyond my control. Life is beyond my control. And leadership, and the difference between leadership and dictatorship is exactly that. Dictators try to control everything, including other people. And leaders accept that life is complicated, and it's not theirs to control, including other human beings and including their own body and their own mind. So what they do as leaders, what you do as leaders today is you accept that there is a lack of control in life. You accept that life is not as perfect as you want it, but then you continue making strides and taking steps towards a better life. Yeah, she's back. Hi, Shelley.
Hi, Yves. Sorry about that.
That's okay. It's just
Not
like,
sure what happened. Zero reaction to that. I would have panicked. Oh, I would have panicked and lost it. I don't know. I just got a blue screen of death. It went restarting.
so okay. Is there a time you would have like just lost it? Because I would have. I was like, oh, I would have just lost it, right?
I would have got up and I would have ran around. Where's my phone? Where's my phone? I got to get on my phone. Oh my, like, yeah, because, this is live, right? This is these are the things that are going to happen, it kind of, it just went restarting. Like I say, blue screen restarting. I was like, oh, what's that going to be? And here I am. The world didn't end. Nothing happened. I am not in any way flustered.
Yeah, but this is the thing. We're talking about this morning. Like, why are you there today? Because you have confidence in you and life. And this is life. You said this is live, but life is live.
Life is live. Right. And if you are unable to accept sometimes a bump in the road, a blue screen, whatever, your kid had an accident, whatever happened, we need to be on it all the time, where we can handle all these things coming at us. Because the thing is if we don't, we become dark. See, we're already made up of darkness. The darkness is already there. You don't need to put any more effort into any hate, because it's already, you got it. You don't have to grab any more of it. It's there. You got it. And every now and again, it'll rear its ugly head. But if you constantly surround yourself, like you say, with no self, no reaction, it was going to come back or it wasn't.
Yeah,
It was gonna come back or it wasn't.
there's a time I would have said, "What? Why is this happening to me?" Right?
Oh,
Why?
absolutely.
And then blaming. Oh, what did Shelley do? Like, did she hit the button or something on her? She forgot to. Like, I would blame. I would do that. There was a time I would do that. Right? I'm not
Yeah.
like I'm
Yeah.
not picking on you, but that was a time I would have done that.
For
And I,
sure.
when you disappeared, it's like, oh, that's interesting. She just went away. So I guess I'm going to talk by myself for a while.
Yeah.
And but this
Yeah.
is what we're talking about, like the difference between leadership and dictatorship is I feel that you know yourself so well, right? That you're not making it mean something. What's that thing, that phrase that Barron says all the time? You're giving it is it no meaning or significance?
Yeah, so we add so much meaning and significance. See, what would happen before is not only would Eve would say, "Oh, did she hit a button? Did she do something wrong? What did she do? Maybe she doesn't want to be here this morning, so she just kind of like
Right. She doesn't
right."
want
All of
to.
that would have went through his head, and I would have been on the other end going, "Oh my God, he's going to think that I just disappeared on him. He's going to think I left him. He's going to think." So all of that would have happened. I would have come back flustered and phased. In actuality, there's none of that in my life anymore. Very rare do I actually react in a negative light. I always try to find something very positive about that. I can see dictatorship, and I can see when people are trying to control, like Yves said earlier. I don't like the word control. And I think when I use the word control, it doesn't mean controlling of anybody. It means that we have to be in discovery of ourselves. So I teach yoga in
Yeah.
the mornings, and I teach it to one individual. So her and I work one-on-one every day together. And I will often, like, I can hear her humming or through a certain pose. So we're now in week 4, and we're at the stage where I can say, what does this mean to you? What does this pose mean to you? What meaning and significance is she putting behind that frog pose or that warrior? So a lot of times it's, I can't. So the more you tell yourself you can't hold a tree pose, you can't hold an airplane, you can't do frog pose. I was there. I remember being there and wondering why I was so angry in frog pose. And he would laugh through frog pose. And I'm like, I'm never doing it. When I teach it, I'm never going to do frog pose. And I didn't understand that. Understanding the story, the meaning and significance that we put behind things, right? The reason why I wasn't going to do frog pose is because I wasn't good at frog pose.
Right.
I'm not good at frog pose. Everybody else around me seems really good. Eve can like lay right out in frog pose like a frog. and so I questioned my abilities, right? So all kinds of meaning and significance. Maybe it's just my hips from sitting in a chair for 8 hours a day are stiff, maybe that's it. But the meaning and significance that I put into that was I wasn't good enough. I'll never have the flexibility. I'll never be able, right? So I breed more negativity by saying all the things that I'll never be able to do.
Like it's funny, and like I don't think there's a trophy to be won in frog pose, right?
Well, there absolutely isn't. And once you get past that, there is no, I'm not trying to prove anything. I'm not trying to blame anything on it. But I find, like, for instance, I belong to an exercise tribe of women. And if they don't make a meeting for whatever, or they don't make an exercise program, or they aren't able to do whatever, it's constant justification or constant blame of what it is, right?
What do you mean?
So for example, Shelley, I didn't do forward lunges today because I'm 62 and my knees, Right. So if you continue to say you're 62 and my knees are not great. See, I did that when I was 185 pounds and I was doing surrenders with
You were
weight.
not 185 pounds.
Yeah, that's when I started. Yeah.
Really? Holy Jesus.
Yeah, that's what I was. I was 185 pounds. And I would do surrenders. And I remember going to the doctor and saying to the doctor, I think there's something wrong with my knees. Like I can't do anything with my knees. And she's like, well, maybe you just need to like lose some of that weight and work those knees. Right?
Ouch.
What's your muscles? Well, it's the truth. It's the truth. And I think that that's what we need. When I say control, you have to stop blaming.
I think it's like taking responsibility for
Yes,
yourself.
thank you.
Like,
That's it.
it's it's like we are responsible for our mind. This is the thing. Like if we there's nothing to be gained from being outside as a leader. There's everything to be gained from being inside. What I mean by that is like taking responsibility for like your reactions, your emotions, your behavior.
Yeah.
And not punishing yourself for it. It's just saying, okay, yeah, it is. I can't do frog pose. Okay. Right. It just is, right?
It just is. But you don't have to call anybody or text people to let them know why you can't do it. Right.
No.
Nobody wants to hear it, actually.
No.
Keep it to yourself. Next time forward lunges are coming up, try forward lunges. If you can't do them, do back lunges. Like I am the queen of modifications.
Yeah, you can always modify everything.
You can modify everything. Stop saying you can't and find a way to do that. But when we're talking about leadership and dictatorship, it's a true, like you can see that line. You can see that line. I know that we just moved. Dovico just moved into our brand new property.
So exciting.
We have 4 amazing guys from Geldart's Storage and Cartage. And we had an amazing group. Like Estelle came in and Dion and color coded everything. Like I was so empowered by what our leaders within Dovico had done to make sure that our move was so wonderful, and it wasn't about you and I, who are supposedly the leaders, right? It's not about him and I, nor did we add any meaning and significance to say, who decided on bringing that? Who, right? None of that. Nor did we add any of it in there.
I actually caught myself a couple of times.
Well, that is beautiful to admit the vulnerability in that, right?
Yeah, like who decided that this desk should go there, or that color should go there, or that chair should be brought. Like, and I'm thinking,
a smart pod. The smart pod. There's no room for that. So I was
right? Yeah, right. So it's like we catch it. Like this is leadership. That's the difference between leadership and dictatorship. Like dictators would say, move that chair over there because it doesn't belong, right? And leaders allow themselves to catch the reactions of, well, does it really matter?
Does it really matter? Because we're not sitting there.
Or can we be a discovery for people that are actually doing amazing things? And that's what you were doing. Sitting there and saying, oh my God, look at this go, right? Things are happening. People are doing things and they're taking responsibility for things. And that's leadership.
But even including the movers, who in the heck are we to say where they should start, where they should finish, how they should pack their truck, right?
I think they know how to buy the truck.
Yeah, exactly. We can show them the stuff. We can't tell them where to start and where to finish. They are the movers. We hired them to do the move. Yeah. So it's
like, and I say this so many times, our job as leaders and as parents and as friends, right? It is not to tell or coach other people unless you've been asked to do so.
Yeah.
If you've been asked to do so, and I do this for a living, I coach for a living. And like when I'm asked to coach, and this was a big transition for me because I was always that smart ass boss. Like I was not a nice, I was a dictator. Like when way back when last week, I was, because I keep changing. So I was a dictator and I used to tell people a lot what to do, and that got me into trouble, right? And it got me into trouble in a variety of ways, because if you're wrong, then the whole life responsibility falls on your shoulders, right? But you're looking for that win, right? You're looking for that win. And at the end of it, I have more, impact, by creating an environment and giving tools and allowing people to discover themselves, what they're good at, what they want to do, how they can take responsibility for their own lives. And that is like throughout my life, not only as a coach, not only as a leader Dovico, but also in my personal life, right? With my family, my friends, and even myself. Our job as leaders is to create an environment and provide tools, right? Create an environment so people can do and be, and we can, like I was coaching my friend Thomas the other day, right? And he was asking, what do I do? Like he's a leader, he's a CEO, and he wanted to know what to do as part of a sales team. I said, well, like if you don't know what you're good at, how can you be part of that team? If your job is just to make the decisions, that is not being part of a team. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So like the part of a team is like, what are you good at? What are you going to take off the table? Like, so you can actually contribute, right? Like think of it as a potluck meal, everybody's like, I'm cooking.
Everybody brings, yeah.
Yeah. Everybody brings something.
Yeah.
And that's the way the world works today. Like that's being a leader. Yeah. Like remember, what's his name?
But if you're bringing something, to always look for the win, if you have to have always the best dish, it's going to be tough, right? So I look at it like this, we've had the wins. We've had the wins all along. Now it's about setting up others to make sure that they get that win. Yeah, of course we have to go out and get our own wins. We're human beings, but it's time that we set up others to make sure that they understand that they can get the win. And then that's just a trickle down effect, right? If I set Sam up every time, this young IT guy, who's just been a miracle, right? A miracle. I'm so proud of him. I can't even tell you. But the whole idea now is at a really young age to set up a constant win, for him to have those constant wins. I don't need to participate in that. That way, when he starts delegating and when he starts mentoring and when he becomes the guy, he can make sure that he does that from a very young age, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, right? Absolutely.
It's all about, as a human being, as a leader, and I think they're one and the same, right? It's all about making sure that you build other people as leaders. You know what? My daughter was born and I expected her to be a leader. I think I've told the story before. In 2020, she came and her whole world was crashing around her, right? She's supposed to graduate. She did. All the things happened, but she didn't get to do the celebratory things. Now, I'll tell you, she came to my house day after day with just such a frown on her face. And I thought, oh my gosh, like this cannot continue. She's practicing anxiety.
Right.
Practicing sadness. We get to practice that, and we all kind of become the empath, and we go into the hole with them. And how do we ever rescue people from that? How do we build leaders if we go into that hole? So I remember looking at her and I wasn't sure what to do. And I knew that it didn't sound sympathetic at the time in my mind, but I said, Nicola, I raised you to be a leader. Today, right now, I need you to get a spine, because 2020 is the time for us. Those of us that consider ourselves leaders, we need to shine because people are hurting. And it's time for us to rise and shine. And I swear to God, her shoulders came up and she just went, yep, mommy, let's go. Let's do it. And she never looked back. She never whined. She never complained. And the whole idea is sometimes we, oh, it's okay. It's okay. Next time you'll do better, right? Here's a participation trophy. That's got to stop. That's got to stop. And we have to expect more of our kids. We have to expect more of the people around us, because when we don't, do you know what we say to them? We're not really confident in you either.
Yeah.
That's what we say.
Yeah,
but when we let Sam go, and we say, pick a server room, set it up, you have people with you, you have Mike, you have Phil, you have people that are going to help you through this, right? And he just embraces that, and we let him. It couldn't have gone any better. It couldn't have gone any better. We let him show up and we let him shine.
And it's like, so let me ask you this question then. Like the difference between where you are, because you've been a leader, you've been leading teams a long time, like before you came to Dovico even.
Yeah.
So what's the difference in your mindset or your health set? Yeah. As compared to where you were.
Wow.
I mean, like, like, you know what I mean by health set? Like your whole
I do. I do.
experience as a human. What's the difference?
It goes in even deeper into my soul set, right?
Oh,
So
yeah.
so what happens is our stories, you've heard Yves talk about our stories for a really long time. First, you have to discover the story that you tell yourself. Once you discover the stories that you tell yourself, you're able to become vulnerable with them, or I was able to become vulnerable with them because my mentor, Yves Doucet, was able to be vulnerable with his. See, to release shame, to release the story is to tell the story. The story has a whole lot less weight
If
when
you tell it.
actually we
Yeah.
tell it. So
Yeah.
the more I explained to Yves how dirty I was, that I couldn't be his CEO, that I was sure that I would never be the old white rich man, smart rich man that is a CEO, because that was what my story was. Not only that, I was definitely not smart enough to be that. But as Yves worked through all of those elements and kind of discredited each one of those stories that I held so true, so dear to me, all of a sudden they became silly and a little absurd. So what was it? And we have these things that we do. Be with. Even I can look at each other in the eye and not say anything for a half an hour at a time. Be with. He tells me more with his eyes in that half hour. And I am so open to the possibilities that maybe I'm wrong. And I think that it was the big thing for me. I thought I was so right for so long. I was so sure of myself. And leaders think they have to, those that are in that position, even like myself, we think that we need to show our strength, or we need to be the one to make that decision.
Act presidential.
Act presidential, right? They came into me and they said, "Sir," right? So it's important for a lot of people to have that pat on the back, or to have that acknowledgement that I'm a little bit better than you. In actuality, at Dovico, we love to believe that our org chart is inverted. Even I are at the very bottom of that. The people that make this company go are the people that are at front lines. They're the ones that are face to face with our customers. That's what really makes Dovico go. And that's what really will make your company go as well. So it's so important that we come to face with our realities of those old stories that no longer serve us. And we can show up. Remember Baron Baptiste saying in his last big session, at this point, you just need to show up and shine. At whatever you do, show up and shine. If you're not feeling great that day, then don't show up. If you can't show up and be the best you, and that's why I say you need to get control, and control is the wrong word. I agree with Yves. You need to be an observant of yourself.
Yeah, and observant of yourself. I think that's like when you take responsibility to observe.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like if you take, it's hard to say you're responsible. When people say you're responsible for your actions, I kind of frowned on that, because most of the time we're not. Like we do things and we say, oh, shit, I should have done that. I shouldn't have ate that Big Mac. I shouldn't have ate that bag of chips. I shouldn't you're not, or I shouldn't have reacted that way.
Right.
So it's important to realize that we are taking responsibility to observe what we're doing. And in the observation, and you said it, like when you start to observe and you called yourself out, oh shit, I ate that bag of chip last night. Right? I was reacting, I was tired. Yeah. Well, you're not giving any life to your behavior, and you're putting a light to the behavior, and that's going to go away. And that works better than dictatorship or shaming or carrots and sticks in order to create an environment. And you said like Dovico's, I view it as a circle. Like, and the reason that's like it's it's easier in a community. Like the reason you need other people is it's easier. Like
Yes.
life is easy. Like it's easy in some ways at Dovico, right? Life is easier to take, like I'm on holidays. Life is easier. Like Estelle and Mel showed up today for my yoga.
Yes.
Like it's easier, right? I have a team, they're meeting without me. It's easier. I'm not worried about it, right? When you're alone, well, you have to worry about everything. So, one of the things that we keep forgetting in business is like the reason that we have all these people, like people answering the phone and people servicing our customers and people like somebody that likes to program and people that likes to test and people that likes to do accounting. It's because it's easier together, right? And if we bring some fun to it, like muscles and like stress goes away. Like, you know what I mean? Like we build muscles, because what happens when you're having fun, like as a child, you remember as a child, like you were playing, you were going out there, like you were actually having fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Like you need to put some fun into our business. It's not about just earning a living. It's about having a life. Yeah. Yeah. And it's easier when you're with people that want to have a life. Yeah. That's what I find. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Absolutely. It's easier when you're with people who want to, um, just live their best life,
Yeah.
that just
Yeah.
constantly want to be in discovery. We're not always looking for, there's no such thing as perfect people.
No.
And that's not what that's not what we're looking for. And we're not saying Doviconians, it's a whole bunch of a group of perfect people. But what we are saying is that a growth foundation. And that's what Yves and I have built at Dovico, I believe. And I believe everybody else has planted their seed as well. So, but it's all about making sure that we are in a growth solution, if you will.
Yes. Yeah.
Right. So we've made the foundation that you can grow. You can actually be you can be empowered to do what you love to do. But what I found out is not everybody understands what they love to do or what they hate doing, right? And we are humans doing, and we forgot to actually be in discovery of whether we like it or not.
But sorry, I cut you off. Go ahead.
No. So, well, what I'm saying is, if you don't actually be in discovery whether you like it or not, what happens is, like even you wake up at 50 and you go, wait a minute, I don't know if I've liked that last 20 years. We're in such an industrial society, right? It says you have to do, you have to go to school and you have to do it this way. And then you got to get a secondary degree and you got to do it this way. I believe 2020 is changing all that now.
I'm laughing because when I woke up at 52 and I look back at my last 10 years, I didn't like that 10 years.
And we don't have 10 years to waste, Yves.
No, and that's exactly what I told myself. What a waste of my time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is why I'm saying, like, could I have helped myself? No, like I looked at like people trying to help me not do what I did. And I was sure that I was right. Right. Yeah. But you allowed me, my dad, my sister, Dion, like my wife, my kids, everybody in my community allowed me to go discover for myself and not judge me.
Absolutely.
And like I had, like, it's something I did. Now it was a waste of my life. Yeah. And what's hard is when you see someone going in that path and say, okay, like this may be a bad decision. You want to change them. That is not the job of a leader. The job of a leader is to create love and trust. And if you create love and trust and you create that environment, give space, like this is the thing. If I would have had more space in love and trust, I would have found that earlier. You know what I mean? Like absolutely. I truly believe that. But I got to my end faster than most because a lot of people don't get out of what I went through. A lot of people can't get out of what I went through. Right?
Oh, absolutely. A lot of people take that bitterness to their grave. Yeah. We've heard of many people on that. And Yves, I'm not sure that without that 10 years, you would be who you are today, to tell you the truth.
And I agree, but why did I get out and some of my friends didn't get out? right?
Because the growth foundation wasn't there. The love and the trust wasn't there, right? They
Because
felt
you weren't
judged.
there, my family wasn't, like, you mean, like that trust, that love allowed me to go discover for myself. And so this is the one thing we could do for people that we care about that are going on the wrong path. You have to love them and allow them to discover, create a space, right? And give them tools so they can discover their own path, and they'll go faster than either faster. And this is what we're doing at Dovico. We're allowing that young man, Sam, to discover for himself, right? And he falls and he gets up and he falls, and it's all good, right? And this is what creating leadership is about today, not dictatorship. It's providing an environment of love and trust. And it seems weird to talk about love and trust in businesses, but there is this book called The Speed of Trust. Like, nothing grows faster than the speed of trust. Once you have trust, people will take risk. Once you have love, people will take risk. And when you take risk, what happens is you grow, you discover, you innovate. And we're about innovation and creativity. So love and trust is the catalyst. It's the catalyst to innovation.
It is definitely the catalyst. And even I talk about love constantly, but I tell you, the one thing that I've often said, you know, when anybody wants to make a decision is, I got your back. No matter what happens, I got your back. And I always have. I've never faltered. Now they say it back to me.
You're so good at that. Like, it's like amazing when you do, right?
Yeah. I'm gonna highly recommend Untamed, the Glennon Doyle. Yeah. And she's also the author of The Love Warrior. And my sister gave me this yesterday, and I mean, I devoured. So Untamed, it's a beautiful, beautiful read.
I'm reading this. The Gary Zucker. Oh my God. Like, highly Gary Zucker. Yeah, so good. I think it talks about what we're talking today. And like, it's really good, really good. Yeah. So thank you for the book. I love books. I love you. I miss you.
I love you. Oh my God, I miss you so much. I don't think even well, we were together a little bit last Saturday, but even I in this last holidays and stuff, we've been apart so much. But you know what? Our energy field is so strong that I still got you. I still got you in my heart.
I got your back.
This is we have extended our 10:10. This is Mindset Monday. Oh, and it was a beautiful Mindset Monday. I'm Shelley Butler.
I'm Yves Doucet.
Can't wait to see you next week. Get your workout in. Love you.
Love you.
Bye.